Take a look at this photo from the 2024 G7 meeting. Now here's what's wild. Almost every single leader in this shot is either clinging to power or already out the door. Let's start with Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. Now technically there isn't supposed to be an election until October 2025. But here's the thing. Trudeau's approval rating? Well, it's tanked, and we're talking historically low numbers here. Right now, he's sitting at the worst approval rating he's had since he first took office in 2015. Fumio Kishida, Japan's prime minister, was already in hot water with record low approval ratings. Then a slush fund scandal hits, and suddenly things go from bad to worse. Under pressure, Kishida steps down as party leader. But here's the kicker. His party, which has practically ruled Japan since 1955, takes the gamble of calling a snap election, and it backfires big time. For the first time in decades, they've lost their majority. Next, we have Olaf Scholz, Germany's chancellor, and things are not looking great. His coalition, it's on the brink of collapse. That's because he just fired his finance minister, a move that blew up after the minister publicly slammed the government's economic policies. Now, Germany might be looking at an election as early as March 2025, and the stakes could not be higher. Emmanuel Macron, president of France, well, he's barely holding on. The far right came shockingly close to seizing control in a recent snap election, shaking up the French political scene. Macron's party, it just took a massive hit, losing close to 100 seats. Now, to stay afloat, he's forced into an uneasy alliance with the New Popular Front, a coalition from the far left. And then there's Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister of the UK. He called a snap election too, but it was a disaster for his party. Labour swept the board, winning a massive 412 seats, obliterating the Conservatives and seizing control. Just for context, you only need 174 seats for a majority. So this wasn't just a win, it was a landslide. And what's even more shocking is that Labour hadn't won an election since 2005. And lastly, President Joe Biden. Yeah, I think we all know how that one went down. So here we are, leaders on the ropes, governments hanging by a thread, and voters restless across the board. This G7 lineup, it's a snapshot of a world where the old guard is being challenged like never before. The question isn't just who's in power now, it's who's next and how long will they last. Because if this lineup tells us anything, it's that in global politics, nothing is guaranteed anymore. Subscribe for more on politics and economics.